up, my people? Welcome to the Mind Pursuit podcast, where we talk about the human mind. I'm your host, Masim Zuki, and I'm hosted at Meet at Moa. If you've not checked out Meet at Moa, now is the time you need to check it out. Look on LinkedIn, Meet at Moa Restaurant and Conference Facility, and thank me later. Feel free to come with your family, your loved one, yourself, to dine and just enjoy the serene place of Meet at Moa. Now, today, I have an amazing person, and you will get to know his story, and you get to see why I say he's one of a kind, I are forced to reckon with. So I hope you're ready. Remember to subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, and thank me later. So, karibu sana Sam.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I'm really honored to have you here at our podcast. Yeah. So I want you to just introduce yourself to the people. Who are you?
Hardest question. Anyway, Sam Becky is my name.
Yes.
And I think I wear many hats. One, I like working with teams. Two, I like writing. Three, I like flying planes. Four, you know as you go along.
Oh wow. Thank you so much. Yes, I know even as it unfolds, we begin to know more about you.
Yeah.
So here at the podcast, we normally have the Jesus Whisper moment.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jesus Whisper moment is where you talk about what is it that God has been telling you about of late that you want to share with us.
My Jesus Whisper moment
Yes.
is God is love. And just try to understand that God is love, that God actually does not have love, that He Himself is love.
That's awesome.
So, anytime you meet with God, no matter where you are, because He is love, the first thing you notice is love. So even if you're really low, or sometimes you do bad things and you're like, God is not, at this point, God is supplying. But when you realize He doesn't have love, because if I have love, I can, let's say like right now, if I have money, I can leave money at home, or I can walk with the money. So depending if how much I have in my pocket, I may respond to your request or not. But if I have money, then anytime you meet me, any request you have, so when you meet God, because He's love, no matter where you are, you must experience that love. Not because He has love, but because He Himself is love. And I'm like, and the whole idea is, I've just been hearing, sometimes you take God too seriously, in the sense that you think like you have this thousand of things I need to perform to be acceptable, to be loved by Him. But you don't have to do anything to be loved by Him, because He is love. If you cross Him, love is the only thing you find.
Yes.
Whether you're good or bad, even when He's coming to quote unquote punish you, because He is love,
Absolutely.
the first thing you'll experience is love. So that's what I've been getting this time.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So He loves us.
So He loves us. I know.
That's big. So yeah, God is love. You've heard. So He loves you. If you're there and you're wondering or second guessing, He is love. So His embodiment is love. Oh, that's big. So thank you so much for sharing that. So I would want to hear about your highlights of your growing up, childhood experience.
Tuanzie wapi?
Hey, anzia penye unataka kuanzia.
Alright. So I was born many years back. I was born in Nairobi,
Yes.
raised in Nairobi. Everything basically is in Nairobi.
Okay.
So when other people are coming to Nairobi,
Yeah.
I'm like, sisi mlipata wapi? And growing up, I'm the last born in a family of 6
Okay.
at Koengi. And growing up was, looking back, I'm like, we had we didn't grow up, we had that challenging upbringing. But then, it was just a normal upbringing.
Yeah.
So we lived in a place called Kayole.
Okay.
That's where I schooled. I schooled in one school for 9 years, from 3 little to class 8. Then I went to Upper Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, the school where everybody who comes from there knows how to sing.
Yeah.
Except
yes, Upper Hill.
yeah, except me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I went to Upper Hill.
Uh-huh.
Then now because I've been brought up in Nairobi.
Yeah.
When I was going to uni, I
Yes.
specifically chose a uni outside Nairobi. I went to Moi University for a year because I felt like I'm done with Nairobi.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm done.
Mm.
So that is my upbringing.
You're going very fast.
I'm going very
Very fast.
Let me
So-
step on the brakes.
Yes. Let me take you back a bit. So
Uh-huh.
you say you were born in Kayole
Yes.
and you stayed in a school for 9 years.
Yes, 9 years.
So just at that, what did you have any highlights? I can imagine being in that school for 9 years. That's like your second home.
Yes. So
Yeah.
one of the highlights
Yes.
is first of all, let's start with a certain teacher.
Yes.
I love this teacher too. Yes. Her name is Mrs. Mwivia. She taught me class 1 to I think this is the best teacher I ever experienced.
Okay.
While other kids would be like, teacher wetu ni mbaya, teacher and all those kind of things, this lady really loved us. Then she used to do something. Every day she'd give us maths, like exam, and if you get above 90, given a pack of biscuits. Let me tell you, I think that's where my love for maths came to. I used to eat biscuits every day.
Wow.
That was guaranteed. Biscuits every day.
Uh-huh.
And I became very, very good in maths.
Yeah.
And when I was young, I used to have a very heavy tongue.
Okay.
Yeah, and I couldn't pronounce the L. Yeah, it
Yeah.
used to come out as N, and people would really laugh at me. And I remember this teacher. She one day went, like in primary, you're talking to one teacher, everything. But exam you're being examined by another teacher. So one day she came and told this teacher, because I used to get very low marks in reading. Because this teacher would be like, you're not reading the right things. But this teacher, she came and told the engineering teacher, these were her words. Huyu anasomanga vibaya, lakini ukisikiza vizuri, kwa hiyo Kenya anasema kuna akili kubwa sana. And that was the first time I got good marks in reading. Because I used to get very low marks in reading.
Yeah.
It was out of it I get like 20, 22, 18. That particular term, I became number 3. From I used to be number 18, 20, I became number 3. And that was a profound moment for me. And it was like, I mean, very
Wow. And do you attribute that to the teacher?
to that particular teacher. Because if she hadn't told this other teacher, but then be patient with him,
Yeah.
I don't think I'll have got good readings. And you know, in primary school, number 1 and number 10, the difference is like what? Like
Very
5 or 10 marks,
Yeah.
very minimal.
Yes.
So if you're not getting good reading marks, you're down there.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm also bright.
Yes.
And by the way, from that time, I've never been anything less than 3.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Words are powerful.
Yeah. So I'm just someone caring about you.
Yes.
You know, like being invested. Then class 4, K5 came class 6.
Yes.
Class 6 was a turning moment for me because I almost could have dropped out of school.
Okay.
Yeah. So unlike the days of Kibaki where there's free education,
Yeah.
that time there's no free education.
Yes.
And you are 6 of us. Now I'm the last one.
Yeah.
So school fees is, we have 5 other kids to pay school fees for.
Yeah.
So we went to school first term, then when you were reporting for second term, you were chased out for school fees. And my dad didn't have money
Yeah.
because we have 5 other, actually
Yeah.
we were 4 other kids. Me and my sister were always in the same class. So my sister and I, we didn't go to school second term and third term. And in the back of my mind, I know if I go to school next year, I might have to repeat.
Yes.
And at that time, there was a stigma, proper stigma. Somebody called a repeater.
Okay.
When you're like, for me to become a repeater, that was a real real anxiety. Like now, because we've not gone for 2 terms, so that means you have to repeat because we're not really gone.
Yeah.
And all the repeaters that we had, they used to perform worse than what they had done the previous year before they repeated, because it was a big stick. But anyway, good thing is my dad was always teaching us independence. That's one thing I appreciate my dad.
Wow.
My dad taught us independence. He used to tell us, your choice, your actions, your decisions, the consequences are yours. So he would tell us, do whatever people in school are doing. So what are people doing in school? They are studying.
Yes.
So by 8 a.m. we will be studying outside the house. Again, the reason we'll be studying outside because that was the year again, this 2000.
Yeah.
Where there was that was the worst time economically for Kenya. That's the time of power rationing. That's the time prices prices for the goods just short. So you couldn't stay in the house because there was no lights. So you had to study outside. But studying we study. So I went and told my dad. So he told us to do whatever they are doing. We've done. So we're not going back to class 6. How are you gonna deal with the teacher? That's none of our business. You go talk with them.
Yes.
So my dad here.
Jomo.
My dad here. I give it to him.
Yeah.
So he went to talk to the teacher and he went to class 7. So I didn't repeat. But for me that was close to being a dropout. And even though we went to class 7, it was a scar for me. Because I was like, what if it happens again? You know,
Trauma. You went through trauma.
Yeah. What if it happens again?
Yes.
So class 7 went through. Class 8 was really it was not the best year again. But that's the year again teachers decided to go on strike.
Yeah.
And they went to strike I think around June. And so, and again my dad would tell us, remember, there are kids in private school who are studying. So whatever they're doing, you do.
Yeah.
And you will go to quote unquote a library. There's a bookshop. The front side is a shop, the back side is just desk.
Yeah.
And we would study and just trying to make up. And for me, it was a very destabilizing moment. But finished class.
What made it destabilizing?
Because of a lot of uncertainty.
It gave you anxiety.
And I think looking back, I hate uncertainties. So if you ask me right now, when it comes to my kids' education, I've planned all the way to 2040 something. I hate
that is what made you become a planner?
I plan a lot. I don't like uncertainty. I want to know, okay, 5 years from now, where am I?
Yeah.
And more so, financial uncertainty, not just any other uncertainty. Because that time is all about finances, money. So, yeah, for so that class 6 was a scar for me. And I carried that scar all the way to high school. And high school was even worse because I started dropping in grades. You know, I would say I used to be an A student when I was living high school, primary. Because now the other thing is, I went to high school with the skill that I did. In fact, I was the second last person to report. Actually, basically the last, because the second last person, we were there the same day. We were there the same day. I should have actually gone to boarding school, but I missed my boarding slot because I had reported late. And even as I was going to high school, we didn't pay any school fees. My dad.
Assertive.
My
dad was very assertive.
My dad, one thing I did, my dad will say, Santonara. So my dad is a very convincing person. Yeah. So, can you imagine I reported to high school without paying any school fees? How my dad managed that?
Yeah.
But again, you see, even though that is happening, I'm not a kid. I can see he's not paying school fees.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this thing is following us.
Yeah.
You know, and who knows, I may again drop out of high school.
Yeah.
You know. And
because repeating was not an option for you.
Repeating wasn't an option, but being a dropout was even worse.
Tell me more.
I could not imagine myself. Okay, now this was happening. So that around that time, 2000, when things were really bad.
Yeah.
Not just for us financially, as how nationally.
Yeah.
Kenya things were going down.
Yeah.
So some of the kids, when we are still, so power rationing, water rationing. So there was a place whereby guys could go and get water. And then you just come to the jerry cans and buy water. Now around there were some street kids.
Yeah.
You know, this chokoras. But some of them, we knew their parents. We knew where their parents live. And the reason they are street kids because their parents cannot afford to pay school fees. So for me, I'm looking like, if my dad does not sort this thing out, I'll be there.
It formed your perception.
Yeah, I'll be there. So I'm like, dropping out of school. It's that fear, that anxiety that just walks with you. Until I got Form 2. And that was another big miracle.
Yeah.
So in Form 2, a new teacher comes. Because I chemistry teacher. That's called Mr. Ojiambo. We call him OJ. This is one of the best teachers. So one day we're just having a chat with him, and I know he probably doesn't even remember this. So one day I chat with him, then I just started telling him, but then all these things like that. He told me, itakuwa tu sawa. And I don't know where those words came from.
Yeah.
But those words come to me. Yeah? Then he showed me like, fine, this may not be working
Yes.
in your life.
Yeah.
But one thing, you're in school. Yes, you may drop out, you don't, but now, right now, you're in school.
Yes.
Have you been chased? No. So what do? Study. My friend.
Yeah.
So I used to get C.
Yeah.
What's the chemistry? I used to get C in chemistry, and I didn't used to like chemistry for much. From that time, I was in Form 4.
Yeah.
Nobody in the entire class
Mm-hmm.
ever came to me in chemistry.
Whoa.
None.
It was a turning point for you.
Turning point. Chemistry became my best subject.
Yes.
Like,
wow.
then of course now there my grades went to B and eventually I claimed an A. You can clap for me. Thank you.
Congratulations.
So it's that for me those two teachers really shaped my childhood.
Yeah.
And one lifted me up. One when I was like, just directionless gave me direction. And those are the guys who made a difference in me.
Wow, amazing. So you can see how teachers play a pivotal moment in every child's life. So I really like that bit, and thank you so much for sharing. So you mentioned in your primary school life, you talk about that the trauma that happened that made you the financial insecurity, that made you to experience anxiety to a point whereby it's something that you walked through even to high school. But then you meet these two teachers who are able to change your life, change your narrative by their words. So what would you tell a teacher who's watching?
Hey, now if you're a teacher,
Yes.
as you do your day-to-day job, it's just normal teaching.
Yes.
You never realize the power of your words.
Yes.
And the words of a teacher shape students, and sometimes they shape the students more than even the parents' words. And if a parent says something bad to a student and the teacher says something good, the one for a teacher somehow it has to prevails. And if the opposite happens, then unless this parent is very particular about affirming their child, the bad word from a teacher sometimes carries them. So beyond the teaching, just love these things. Love them. Because when I was with this teacher, I don't think he realized it was meant for me. But he was just, he loved us. I think that's it. He loved. And when he loved, he poured out his heart.
Yes.
So just love those kids and share with them. You never know what word will carry your child.
Thank you so much for that. So words are powerful. teachers you've had, yeah, and this thing keeps on in most of the podcasts, actually episode, it keeps on recurring. The two people who can either make or break a child is the parent and the teacher. So as a parent, this is also for you. What words are you saying to your child? As a teacher, what words are you? So in some story, we are able to see the power of words. And even the words that were coming from the teacher. Alikuambia tu statement moja. Hii itakuwa tu sawa. Wow.
And I'm like,
and that gave you stability.
but that thing anchored me.
Yes.
Because this is the thing. Form 1, I didn't pass.
Yeah.
Form 2,
Yeah.
half of it I didn't pass.
Yeah.
Then towards the end, things started opening up for my dad.
Yes.
So we were able to pay our school fees. But, and then this was the thing. Every time guys are being chased for school fees,
Yeah.
that one I was always on the list.
Yeah.
I
It was
always
not
on the
for
list.
you.
It was on the list.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, what I appreciate about my dad. When other kids will be chased out of school, and they're told, no, you cannot go to this, the principal with nothing.
Yeah.
So sometimes the parents will, and they'll chase us on Sunday afternoon, always. Sunday afternoon. So the other kids will report maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, because the parent has to come with something. Me, I knew I'm going home today.
Yeah.
Special Monday morning, I will be here, whether my dad has Monday or
no.
not. And for me, I appreciated what was working. And one of the things that was working for me is my dad's love.
Wow.
So I started, so one of the things that this teacher made me see is what is working for me. Forget about what is not working.
So mindset.
Yeah, so what is working for me? These are the things that are working for you. Capitalize on them. Capitalize on them. When we were at Kila school, I left that school with school fees, balance.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah.
I got my A.
Yeah.
And know that time getting an A was like everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a matter of what is working. And I capitalized on it. I capitalized on it.
Wow.
When people say, oh, I hate high school, I love high school. I love school. High school is a bomb for me. Because I was always looked at, this is what people do.
Yeah.
And one of the things about that school, and big up to our principal then, it's called Mr. Muya.
Yeah.
Do you know people used to think I went to a private school?
Wow.
Because that guy,
Yeah.
he gave himself to ensure the school is okay.
Wow.
We had everything in the school. Books, like when we're doing set books,
Yeah.
each person had their own book
Yeah.
from the school.
Yeah.
No book fund, no
Wow.
nothing, no nothing. That man managed the school really, really well.
Wow.
I give him a big ups.
Wow. Leadership.
He managed. We had, if it's math, you always have 2 books.
Yeah.
So let's say one by Kiai or one by Patel. So I'll have Kiai, you'll have Patel.
Yeah.
And then we'll always prepare.
Yeah.
So everybody had a book. You need to go to a point where you're being given books. You're telling the teacher, I don't want, because your desk is full of textbooks. Then when it came to experiments, we will do experiments every single week. It got to a point it was so good that when it's exam time, you just walk past the lab, you see the setup, you know what the experiment is going to do. You don't need to, you just see, the way this thing has been set up,
Yes.
we are going to do this tomorrow.
Yeah. Wow.
Because you've done it,
Over and over. So he gave you resource.
He gave us resources. People thought I was in private school. Yes, I just a normal government school.
Yeah. With a leader. The difference you had, there was a leader.
And that was, so those are the things that were working for me.
Uh-huh.
And this is what that teacher helped me see. What is working for you?
Yeah. Wow. And that helped you to cope.
Yeah.
So sometimes coping with it, because I see as stress, trauma in itself is a stress.
Yeah.
But then now how you're able to cope is changing your mindset. Positive mindset. What is working? Not focusing so much on what is not working, looking at what is working and just thriving with that.
For sure.
Oh wow, that's really powerful. So thank you so much for sharing this. I hope you've learned one of the mental health key thing that you need to have is a positive mindset. So you look at what is it that is working for you. Sometimes changing a situation that is not working may not be ideal, and sometimes I talk about the 3 circles. Like, is it within your circle of influence? You can do something about it. Is it within your circle of concern? Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Like in some story, the financial insecurity, there's nothing you would have done about it. But I like how you cope with that stressor. And these are some of the stressors that come with our day-to-day life. So being able to look at it with a positive mindset and seeing what can you be able to do? What is within your circle of control that you can do? And focus on that. And then at the end of the day, thrive and be the best version of yourself. If Sam was able to get an A in the midst of the turmoil, so can you. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode. See you on the next one. Remember to subscribe by hitting the notification bell below. Share, tell a friend to tell a friend, and see you on the next one. Bye.